Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching Channels Television celebrating 21 years of professional broadcasting. This is the news at 10. A reminder of our major stories. Suspected Boko Haram militants kill 5 people in a village in southeastern Niger Republic, close to the border with Nigeria. Rotimi Akeredolu emerges the candidate of the All Progressives Congress for the November governorship elections in Ondo State. Candidates in the Edo State governorship elections slug it out in a televised debate, present the agenda to the electorate. And Mother Teresa, revered for her work with the poor in India, is proclaimed a saint by Pope Francis in a ceremony at the Vatican. Do remember that all our top stories can be found on our website. It's channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. Besides the news and updates, the Channels TV app has an eyewitness feature. We encourage you to use it to share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the eyewitness menu and follow the instructions. And here are some photos you sent to our eyewitness portal. We begin with this one sent in from Basirka community, which is the border area connecting Bauchi and Jigawa states. Our eyewitness reporter calls on the state authorities to end cases of flooding. And similar to that is a photo sent in from Serikin Noma area along the Abuja-Lokoja road. Our eyewitness reporter wants the government to intervene. Our next photo was sent in from Ondo Road in Osun State. It shows the aftermath of a road accident involving a vehicle and a commercial bus. Our eyewitness reporter advises motorists to adhere to traffic regulations. And this photo shows the poor condition of the Enugu-Onitsha Road. Our eyewitness reporter laments the hardship faced by travelers and residents in both states. And finally is this photo sent in from the Ogbomosho-Ilorin Road. It shows an overloaded truck. Our eyewitness reporter wants relevant authorities to arrest drivers involved in this rising trend. We sincerely thank you for sending in those pictures, as we ask that you keep them coming. The federal government is described as out of tune with reality. The published letter from the US Congressman Tom Marino to Secretary of State John Kerry, asking the US to withdraw security assistance to Nigeria on the strength of some alleged infractions by the Buhari administration. In a statement issued in Abuja, the Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, said that Congressman Marino was poorly informed about the issues he commented on, wondering why he did not take the pains to get first-hand information from the US Embassy in Nigeria or any other credible sources before engaging in what is nothing but a propaganda of his own imagination. He said, quote, "Insecurity anywhere is insecurity everywhere." Has Congressman Marino understood this, he would not have made the kind of call he made concerning the US Secretary's security assistance to Nigeria. The Boko Haram insurgency that Nigeria has decisively dealt with under President Muhammadu Buhari is not just a Nigerian problem, but a regional and international crisis. The minister describes Congressman Marino's description of the administration's anti-corruption efforts as selective, as a tied argument that clearly shows that the US lawmaker must have appended his signature to someone's concocted lines. Alhaji Mohammed said that Nigeria is delighted that US Secretary of State John Kerry, to whom the congressman addresses his letter, is more knowledgeable, better briefed, and definitely more hands-on concerning Nigerian issues. The former Group Managing Director of the NNPC said that the price cap of 145 naira per litre for petrol is not harmonious with the liberalisation policy of the federal government. The former NNPC GMDs made this position known at the end of a one-day meeting put together by the NNPC's Group Managing Director, Dr. Maikanti Baru. Well, according to the statement by the NNPC spokesman, Mr. Garba Muhammad, the former NNPC chiefs agreed that the 145 naira per litre price is not in tandem with the liberalization policy when factors such as the foreign exchange rate, crude costs and Nigerian Port Authority charges remain uncapped. The stakeholders are also concerned over the decline in production level of crude oil in the country and its consequences on the environment and the nation's revenue. NNPC's debt profile also came up for discussion at the meeting, with an advice for the corporation to establish the true state of its current financial status and immediately decide on the most appropriate capitalization model. The impact of recession on the country's economy appears to be assuming a frightening dimension with the recent hike in prices of goods and services. One of the main commodities affected is cement, which recently rose by 50%. Our next report examines the impact of this recession and some strategies that could be adopted to revive the economy.
The wave of the current economic recession takes its toll across the country, and cost of goods and services take a hike.
The thing there is that the country we are living now, nobody knows where we are going. The federal government should put their eye and know what they are doing to help the poor masses, because the poor masses are no longer living well. It's affecting us.
One commodity currently generating a lot of tension is cement, which only last week recorded about a 50% price hike.
I can't just don't know how to explain to my clients, because I bought roughly about 200 bags last week. Now the man gave me 1,500. You can imagine the hike in price, almost 700. Where will I get 700 to add?
In 1999, when the country still depended on importation, cement sold for 500 naira and later rose to 625 naira in 2002. Same product now goes for between 2,300 and 2,500 naira, representing about a 500% increase.
This cement being produced by virtually one person or two persons in the country has really put a lot of things to hold, because if there are a lot of producer of cement, there's going to be competition.
If they had known the multi-effect of saying they want to remove their hand totally from the regulation of the oil price, that has resulted to high mass demand of dollar in the hand of black market.
The effect of this is telling negatively on builders and sellers of the product, who complain of low patronage.
Before this time, you can't see anybody here. People will come in looking for workers, there's no workers. But as of now, you can stay for more than a month, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. The people, you saw them here, they have nothing to do.
We just surprised, even sand costs, cement costs, and all these things. To maintain this our company now, it's not easy.
Housing deficit in the country is put at about 20 million units. This was meant to cost the country 56 trillion naira as at 4 years ago. Today, these may have doubled with the increase in the cost of cement, thereby casting doubt on housing for all by 2020.
I'm a poor civil servant trying to build a house of my own. How can somebody buy something of 1,500 last week, and today you come and they said it's 2,002? It's killing. And we want to appeal to the government to do whatever they can do, at least to ameliorate the suffering of the masses.
The only thing is I hope some are not the impacts of recession, no doubt, are with us. How do we begin to ease our way out of it?
The CBN is not in a position to properly fund the foreign exchange market. So the main salvation now lies in the autonomous inflows from export proceeds, from oil companies bringing capital, from capital importation from foreign direct investors, and from also portfolio investors. And unless you have a fully market determined rate, those flows will not come in the way they should. And it is very, very important at this time. There's also need to also look at the monetary policy. When you are faced with a slowing economy, when you are faced with a downturn in the economy, the thing to do is to stimulate the economy. And you can stimulate the economy by also easing monetary policy. So rather than tightening, we should be easing monetary policy.
Double-digit inflation rate, high cost of goods and services, and negative growth of the economy. it's definitely not the best of period for Nigerians. However, of all the possible ways out of this situation, the blame game is not listed, which means whatever it will take the country to get out of this situation, the government of the day must be willing to offer so that smiles could return to the faces of Nigerians again. Chris Elems, Channels Television News.
Well, Nigerian farmers have started benefiting from the federal government's 220 billion naira credit scheme with the launch of the Anchor Borrowers Program in Anambra and Cross River State. The Central Bank of Nigeria, the CBN, says that the program is to boost agricultural production and enhance Nigeria's foreign exchange earnings through exports.
The agricultural revolution of the federal government is beginning to yield some offshoots in some parts of the country, as the Central Bank of Nigeria launches the Anchor Borrower Program with a stimulus of 220 billion naira to support local farmers to boost food production and job creation in the country. In Anambra State, the happy farmers converged to collect this credit facility, which includes cash disbursement, improved seedlings and pesticides. The CBN says this program will help in promoting export by making access to credit facility easier for the farmers.
The Central Bank of Nigeria has set the ball rolling and shown commitment to this program, and therefore expects that farmers and all relevant stakeholders in Anambra State would reciprocate by contributing their very best towards ensuring the successful implementation of this laudable program.
The Anambra State government also promises to ensure that the farmers put the funds collected into good use.
The position of the state, as a matter of importance, is for us to make sure that we have a safe playing ground for our farmers to participate in this program, to retain our brand and our heritage, which is the Anambra State rice, to engage our youths and empower our farmers.
Farmers in Cross River State are also feeling this pleasant tiding of the CBN's Anchor Borrower Program lifeline. The target here is to enhance large-scale production of rice in commercial quantity as rice grain were handed over to the farmers for cultivation. In a show of gratitude, the Cross River State Governor commended the federal government for providing an agricultural mechanized center, which he says would provide industrial support for the economy.
That the government of Cross River State is going to set up a proper professional food bank, the very first food bank in Nigeria. We're going to set up a food bank, one in each local government area. The major essence of the food bank is to serve as the catalytic financial muscle that will pick up, buy off, take off every single piece of rice that you will produce.
The CBN urges the beneficiaries to keep to the roadmap of the scheme in order to stimulate economic growth.
We have no reason to be poor. We cannot justify it. We have the land, we have the persons, we have those who are committed. Why should we beg for food? It's impossible. And from now on, I want to assure you, we shall never import any rice again.
Many of the beneficiaries say the Anchor Borrower Program is a dream come true and have also promised not to abuse the scheme. Its successful implementation across the state may just be one bold step needed to stimulate the agricultural sector, especially in the face of current economic downturn.
Still ahead on the news at 10, we have more on the impact of the recession on the Nigerian economy. I'll be joined on the news at 10 by Babajide Ogunsanwo. He's our in-house data analyst. Plus, our community report tonight looks at how the residents of Agbamma in Abia State are coping with basic amenities. Join us again.